Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. So in this video, we're going to discuss the Sebastian Rogers case a little bit more. There were some, sorry, I got an itch. There were some points I wanted to touch on, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. So we're going to do that here. So I want to go back a little bit on Nancy Grace's interview. Sebastian Rogers' stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, said he would take a polygraph if she set it up, and she did. She did that. CrimeOnline.com set the polygraph up, and then Chris Proudfoot said he could not take the polygraph because the TBI told him not to. But the latest is Chris Proudfoot, said he could no longer do interviews because the TBI told him not to. And then he apparently said TBI is setting up a polygraph and he has to take the TBI polygraph first, then they'll go from there. So it sounds really convoluted to me. Though it's true polygraphs aren't admissible in court, it's still a useful tool. But if he's a sociopath, which I don't know, I'm not diagnosing him, but I'm just saying if he happens to be a sociopath, he could lie and still pass a poly if he's, a sociopath. And Chris Proudfoot contacted NARCed divers. I'm sorry about the pronunciation. And in my opinion, put them in an awkward position. They commented on their video. They left a comment explaining, that they did talk to him, but it wasn't, affecting their investigation. But it was regarding the dogs getting a scent versus not getting a scent. But according to Chris Proudfoot, the dogs did get a scent. And I've heard both, that they did or that they didn't, but he thinks he's putting an end to the BS, as he calls it. But again, in my opinion, he just made himself look more questionable. He has all this great intel. He couldn't bring it up before. He said law enforcement drove him around and showed him where the scent led, and he's the only one they've done that with, because apparently he's special. Chris Proudfoot says he's tired of the BS and rumors, yet his inactions, and his mouth is what started the, as he calls it, BS and rumors. He's the one that started it. And is it BS and rumors, or is there some truth to it? And that's why he's getting so stirred up about it. He wants to put an end to it because he didn't expect people to be smarter than him, And as I've said in a prior video, I know Chris Proudfoot was working over 3 hours away, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have anything to do with Sebastian going missing. That doesn't mean anything. He could have made arrangements with someone. He was allegedly so concerned that Sebastian would do something to Faith, his daughter, that maybe he had him removed somehow. And this guy has zero compassion for Sebastian and what happened to him when he was 8 years old. Like, no compassion at all. He's just, I don't think he's a good person. I don't think he's a decent person. And he, according to Seth Rogers, wanted to weaponize that assault on Sebastian and turn it against him. Turn Sebastian into some kind of monster because of a monster doing something to him. I don't trust Chris Proudfoot. But with that being said, I have to say, and this might upset a few of you, but just hear me out. I don't necessarily trust Seth either, but it's in a different way. He's out there looking for Sebastian, and he clearly loves his son, and he's working like hell to find Sebastian. I can't really explain it. Maybe I'm just jaded and doubt everyone. I don't think Seth has anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance. But I do have a feeling that he has a very bad, ugly temper. I just get that from him with just how he's behaved in interviews, because I've watched all of them pretty much. And I'm also bothered by the fact that the adults involved are not being adults. They're with the infighting. Be better. Maybe get an expert to consult with before blathering off in interviews, like before saying things maybe you shouldn't say, saying things that maybe will be embarrassing to Sebastian. Maybe get a PR expert. That's my suggestion to all of them. Hire PR. Maybe, and due to the circumstances, some PR professional might help them out pro bono. I'm a PR professional, but, you know, maybe someone will help them out, you know, pro bono. And I wonder if all possibilities are being considered. They're searching in the woods. It's all they've been searching with is in the woods and waterways, but why there? He could be anywhere. He could be anywhere. He could be anywhere. Granted, you can't really go search in people's houses without probable cause, and I realize that, but he's got to be somewhere. You know, he didn't just vanish. Someone out there knows where this child is, and someone needs to talk. It's time to start smashing skulls, and I don't mean that literally. I just mean, you know, go balls out. Find this kid, you know? And as for Katie, you know, I don't know what her deal is. If my child was missing, you couldn't stop me from searching for him. I wouldn't sleep. I would be out there, you know, looking for him constantly. I would be knocking on doors. I would be hanging flyers up. I would be hunting for him. I would be on the news every night pleading for people to return my child to me. I just would. And I know we're not all alike. I know that. You don't need to point that out to me. I know we're not all alike, but it just seems unusual that she isn't working nearly as hard as Seth Rogers defined him. The last I heard, she's vacationing in Mississippi or something. I don't get it. And, you know, I'm always a little ambivalent about pointing the finger at a mother, because I just think about how I might feel if something happened to my kid and everybody's like, it's the mother's fault, she did something, because that's always the reaction. That's always the knee-jerk reaction. Well, we better blame the mom or whoever the custodial parent is. It's that person's fault. And I can imagine how I would feel. And if Katie worked for Brinks, but they don't have a security system, they said on Nancy Grace, they don't have a security system. And I'm still confused about Chris on Nancy Grace. And I've only seen one other person mention this in comments, where Nancy Grace asked him, you know, why they went out of town, why they took the camper, and he said he was going back to work. But earlier in that interview, the same interview, he said his job was up in the air. That really just throws me for a bit of a loop. It does. So, but anyway, that's really all I have to say on that case right now. I don't have anything new. I'm working on a timeline for you guys, but that's it for now. I'm gonna go. I need to take my medicine and go to bed. It's just. So I'll talk to everyone later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.